Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're back in my sketchbook, and as you saw as the title and the thumbnail of this video, I'm drawing Deadpool again. I did see the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, and so I've been thinking about Deadpool for a while. I saw it on the Saturday that it released. I didn't see it opening day because I do work during the week, but I saw it as soon as possible just because I knew that there was going to be a lot of spoilers on the internet, and typically I don't really care about spoilers in movies. But if it's like Marvel, unfortunately, I still like Marvel a lot. And so if it's like a Marvel movie, I really don't want to see spoilers. So I saw it like opening weekend. I liked it a lot. I'm not really here to get into the nitty gritty about whether or not the movie was good. You can go on literally every YouTube channel pretty much and anywhere on the internet, I feel like, and people will tell you the movie was good, and the movie was good. I liked it a lot because I'm a big old fucking nerd, and so I saw it and I was like, oh my god, they did so much stuff. And so yeah, I like the movie a lot, but not to talk about the movie too much. I was wanting to draw Deadpool again, and I was like, I really don't know what I want to draw him doing. I thought about also drawing Wolverine, and I do end up drawing Wolverine in the spread. It's not like a lot of Wolverine, just because this is going to be hard for me to admit as someone who likes comic books and who especially likes Marvel. I really don't care for Wolverine too much. Like, I don't hate him or anything. I feel like this is kind of blasphemous to say. I've never really been a big fan of the X-Men. I like Deadpool a lot, even though he's not really an X-Men. He's X-Men adjacent at most. But I like Deadpool a lot, but I don't really like the other X-Men too much. I just think I never really got into them. I've more of like an Avengers girl, I guess. And I really like Spider-Man. Like, those are like the sort of Marvel characters I like. I really like Spider-Verse stuff. And so yeah, I've never really been a big fan of the X-Men, and Wolverine is like the X-Men, and so I don't really like Wolverine. I don't hate him. Like I said, I don't hate Wolverine at all. I just don't understand the appeal. I think a large part of the appeal of Wolverine in like the movies is Hugh Jackman, and I think Hugh Jackman is cool, I guess. I liked him in The Greatest Showman, but I haven't really seen a lot of movies that he's been in. And you know what, honestly, truly, I have not seen the X-Men movies in a long time, and there's like a lot of stuff in the X-Men movies I was like, that's so fucking dumb. And also it really always skews me out when, no offense, I know people are like, oh my god, Logan and Jean Grey, it's like meant to be or whatever. I'm sorry if you like ship them, but that always like grossed me out, especially when I watched was it Days of Future Past? I don't know, it was the live action movies where she was a teenager and Logan was a grown-ass man, and he like burst out of Weapon X like completely naked, and then they looked at each other for like way too long. I don't know what movie that is, but they looked at each other for way too long, and then he ran off, and I was like, ew, she's like 16. Why are you doing that? You did not need to imply that when she was 16, and that man is like 40 fucking years old. Ugh, gross. And so I never liked them as a ship, and I think that's also partially adds to my like not liking Logan, because it's like, well, she's supposed to be with Scott, and like they're in love, and then like Logan over here, and it's like I don't like when people are cheating on their spouses. That ticks me off. And so I think that's also partially why I never was able to like Wolverine. I'm sure he's great in the comics or whatever, and I've been getting a lot of like suggestions and stuff for like Wolverine in like the cartoons. I think especially in like X-Men Evolution, that cartoon, he's like more of like an uncle character, like a mentor type character to those characters, and like the whole Jean Grey thing is like off the table, and so I'm like, okay, that could be kind of cool. I just need to find my depiction of Logan that I enjoy, but I was just like, for a long time he kind of skeeved me out. But not to talk about Logan too much, I wanted to draw Deadpool in his maid outfit just because I think it's very cute. I don't own like a lot of comic books, just because I don't really like owning books. I got rid of a lot of books a while ago because I actually don't really like having a lot of books, and honestly my bookshelf is starting to fill up with books again, because I've been buying a lot of art books and shit, and so I'm kind of like, I need to start getting rid of these, and I'm really fighting the urge to not get rid of any of my books, just because I don't own a lot anyway, and it's like the ones that I do own are like art books and like comic books, and stuff like that, and so I don't want to throw them away, so I'm trying to make sure I'm not throwing away my books just because the clutter bothers me. But like I said, I don't really own a lot of comic books, but of the comic books that I do own a couple of issues of Deadpool, like it's so funny, I own volume 2 of the Deadpool collection of comic books. I don't own volume 1, I think because I bought it in the bookstore at the time. It was like 2013 or something, 2015, something like that, and it did not say volume 2 on it. It just said Deadpool collection, like entire collection. And I was like, okay, I'll buy it. And it does include the issue where he is wearing this maid outfit. And I did not even use the reference from that book because I didn't even realize that I had the reference photo in that comic. I didn't even realize that I had it in the Ultimate Collection or whatever, and so I just looked up the reference online, and then after I looked it up, I was like, I should flip through my Deadpool comics to see what I like references I can do, because I was thinking about going back and just like trying to copy some of the artist style. I'm just saying, just so you guys know which collection, the complete collection of Deadpool comics. It's the what's his name, the Daniel Way run of the Deadpool comics. Obviously there's a lot of different artists and a lot of different authors on different Deadpool comics, but this is specifically the Daniel Way run of Deadpool. So yeah, that's what that one is. And so I've been through that one, and I really like the artwork in some of those. I like especially the one where he's wearing the maid costume. I really like it's the Hit Monkey issue. It sounds so weird. If you don't know comics, you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? But it's like the Hit Monkey issue with Spider-Man and Deadpool. I really like the way that the artist, I'm not sure which artist it is. I can actually look it up because they are listed inside of the book, but one second. It's actually 3 artists, because if you guys know anything about comic books, especially in the US, but comic books pretty much anywhere, is that they have at least 3 artists. And so they have the pencils these are for issue 19 through 21, which is like I said, the Spider-Man issues with Deadpool and Hit Monkey. So it's Carlo Barberi for the pencils, and then the inks, it is Sandu Floria, and then for the colors they are Mart Gracia. I hope to God that I am not butchering these fucking names. I swear to God, I really am. But anyway, that's who the colors are. And so for those 3 issues of the comic, I really like the coloring style. I think it looks really cool. And so I thought about like going over and trying to copy the coloring style. I don't think that I'm going to be doing that anytime soon, just because it's a lot. It looks really nice. It's like really pretty, and it's like super intricate and stuff. I really like the way that it looks, but I know if I was going to try to learn it, it would take me a while to copy it, especially because, like I said, it took 3 artists to do the pencils, and then another artist to do the inks, and then another artist to do the colors. And so trying to like crank it all out by myself would be really hard. So I might do a master study of some of those Deadpool comics, but not yet, not for a while. But anyway, so I wanted to draw his maid outfit that are from those issues of the comics, and I drew Spider-Man reacting to him wearing it, just because he kind of reacts to him wearing it in the comic, but I was just like, what if I just do another one myself? So yeah, this is like implied that it's a different mission. And then I was going to draw Wolverine. I drew Deadpool blowing a kiss, and I was like, he could be blowing a kiss to Spider-Man, but I have been thinking about Wolverine ever since the Wolverine and Deadpool movie, and so I was like, I guess I'll draw Wolverine. I've never drawn Wolverine before in my life. Like I said, he's not really my favorite, and so I was just like, I'll just go ahead and draw him just cutting the little heart that Deadpool is kissing at him in half. So that's what that part of the comic is. That's what this part of the page is. I don't think I did a very good job drawing Wolverine. I felt okay half-assing it with Spider-Man, because I draw Spider-Man pretty often, like at least once in my sketchbooks. You guys have seen some of my sketchbook tours. I tried to draw Spider-Man a lot, but with Wolverine I was like, I should probably put a little bit more effort into it. And then I drew the Wolverines, and I was like, these suck ass. These are terrible drawings of Wolverine. But to be fair, these are my first and second ever attempts at drawing Wolverine. I think the second one is a little bit better than the first one, but honestly I don't know enough about Wolverine to put my sort of characterization into him. I know a lot about Spider-Man, and I kind of know how I want to characterize Spider-Man. If I was ever going to make like my version of Spider-Man and Deadpool, I kind of know what I want them to act like, but I don't know shit about Wolverine. So I had to go, like, maybe I don't want to get into more Wolverine stuff. Maybe I'll just go watch the old movies, the quote unquote old. I know some people are going to be like, those movies aren't old, but the first X-Men movie came out in 2000, and I was only 4 years old, so I have not seen them in a while. I don't even remember watching any of them. I remember the one scene, I think it was in X2, where the guy, they like threaten the president. Charles Xavier like projects the image of the X-Men into the president's mind, I think, if that's what I remember happening. And I remember that one scene where that guy turns into like jelly, and then he turns into water, and that shit freaked me out as a kid. But like I said, I don't really know much about the X-Men, so maybe I should go back and watch those. But I did recently watch that scene where the guy turns into jelly after they tried to activate his X gene, and his X-Men mutation was like being a jelly monster, and then his like DNA became unstable, and he like fucking dissolved into water and died. I watched that scene again, and I was like, that's still disturbing to this day. I'm a grown-ass adult now, and that I still find that disturbing, and so I'm not really sure if I'm gonna go back and watch those movies. I think the last time I watched an X-Men movie, I did watch X-Men Wolverine Origins, like Wolverine X-Men Origins or whatever. I saw that movie when I was younger, like around the time that it came out, but I did not know Deadpool at the time, and so I was just like, the hell is going on with that guy? He seems kind of cool. But then he turned into like that awful version of Deadpool that nobody likes. He was not even Deadpool, it wasn't even called that. But I don't remember thinking anything of it. I was just like, oh, it was sad that happened to that guy. And then after I got to know about Deadpool, and reading the comics and stuff, and then I went back and watched the movie, I was like, what the fuck? That was Deadpool this whole time? What the hell? But honestly, that was a lie. Now that I'm thinking about it, outside of the Deadpool movies, the last time I watched an X-Men movie was Logan. And I liked Logan. Logan made me cry. But any movie can make me cry, honestly and truly. So, yeah, I liked Logan, but it didn't really make me like Wolverine at all. I mean, maybe in like the context of the movie, but I don't know. Anyway, it's not the point. Moving on to the coloring of this video. For my materials, I use pretty much what I always use. Instead of High-Tech-C, I'm still using that red colored Pilot G2 in a 0.38. I just felt like using that one still. I've been liking using it, so I'm still using it. And I just went ahead and did all the sketching in that, and then I went in with this Pentel brush pen that I bought like a billion of, and so I'm using the red one. I really like the way the red ink looks, and I really like using these as like a supplement for black without actually putting black into my pieces, and so I use that for the black parts of his dress and the black parts of the of his suit, and then I also use it for the dark parts of Wolverine's suit. I know Wolverine's suit is not black, obviously it's yellow and blue, but I did not want to put blue in my red sketchbook spread. That wouldn't make any sense, at least not to me. And actually, it took me a long time to fill in all these quote-unquote red parts, all the black parts of his outfit. Just made me realize that he wears a lot of black. Deadpool does anyway. I know he wears black and red, like that's the whole gist, but it actually took me a while to fill these in. I don't know why it took me so long. I think I was like taking my sweet ass time with it, but this filling in the black parts, quote-unquote black parts with ink, took me forever. I was like, what the hell, why is this taking so long? But it did take me a long time. And then after that, I went in with my normal watercolor pen, the Ecoline brush pen, and honestly, I kind of wish I hadn't added the Ecoline brush pen at the end. You guys are not going to see it for a hot minute because, like I said, adding these inks took fucking forever. But when I do add the Ecoline brush pen, I'm like, why does it look so gross and patchy and gross and weird? I think it's running out of ink, and so actually, I don't know for Ecoline brush pens if you can just add water and that will make them a little bit better, because it is watercolor. So I'm like, well, maybe if you just add water, it will like bring the pen back to life. Obviously, the color is going to be lighter because it's going to be diluted, but I actually don't know if you can add water to those. If any of you guys know about Ecoline brush pens and they're like, if you want to extend the life of your marker a little bit longer, you can put some water in there and it'll be fine. It's going to lighten the color, but otherwise it'll look nice. I don't care if it lightens the color, because I really don't give a shit. They're just for my sketchbook doodles. The red is not like super red anyway. It's a pastel red. It's not pink, it's pastel red, if that makes sense to you guys. I do have a pink one. They're obviously different hues. Like, obviously the pastel red is pink, but it's a different hue than the regular pink that I use in the same Ecoline brush pen. The pastel pink one, that one is a little bit more rosy than it is red. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but yeah. And so I'm trying to extend the life of those. I do have a replacement for it. Like I said, I do have a pack of those I keep on the wayside just in case my pens run out. But I'm finding that the ones that I've been using have been running out a lot lately. And I guess it's because I have been using them a lot. I didn't even discover that I liked using them until, not my last sketchbook, but the one before that. What sketchbook number was that? I think it was like sketchbook 47. I discovered that I could use them. 46, sorry, my bad. And this is sketchbook 50, I think, or 49 currently that I'm working in. The last sketchbook I did was this one is technically sketchbook 50. And so it's been about 3 sketchbooks. Oh, wait, no, I have a half sketchbook. I have 2 half sketchbooks, actually. So actually it's been about 4 sketchbooks since then, 4 or 5 sketchbooks since then. But, then I discovered that I like using these, and so I'm like, that was not even that long ago. I finished sketchbook number 49 this year, I think. Not 49, sorry, 46. I finished that one this year, if I'm looking at it correctly. Nope, I didn't. I lied. I finished it in 2023. I don't know why I finished it this year. But still, it hasn't even been a year since I've been using these, and I've kind of been going through them. I guess technically I do use them every day, and I have used them in like 5 sketchbooks at this point, and so they should be dying out, but actually having used them just almost for a full year at this point, it'll be full year in September, I guess that they They have lasted a really long time, actually. And honestly, if I started using them in February, that's past a full year. So I guess they did have a really good shelf life on these. Like, they actually lasted me a really long time. I don't think I started using them in February. I think I used them like halfway through the sketchbook. But they lasted me a long time. I actually can pinpoint the day that I started using these. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so the exact date that I started using these, or pretty much the exact date, was June 4th of 2023, which means they've lasted me a full year so far before I even have to start throwing them away, which is really good. And it's even better when you know that I purchased them a lot longer since I actually started using them, because when I first got them, I did not want to use them. Because I did not like the way that they were turning out. And so they just sat in my room for a while, for a really long time, for like a year or two. And then I started using them in June of 2023. So they lasted me a really long time. And so I guess I really don't have any complaints about how long that they've been going on for. They actually had a pretty decent life on them. I think a year for a pen is a really long life. So that's good. But I'm kind of pissed off that they're all like running out of ink at the same time. Like, can you stagger a little bit? Obviously not though, because I do use them all pretty much all the time. I like to switch between colors in my sketchbook. I don't really like it when I have too many of the same colors right next to each other, which I am accidentally kind of doing with this sketchbook right now, because I did this Deadpool spread, and then I did like a comic with my characters that's like 4 or 5 pages long, and that one was all in red, and so it's actually kind of bothering me that whole comic is red. But then I'm like, I can't change in the middle of it being red. It'll bother me even more, and it's like the same comic but different colors. And so I'm like, I don't know why I chose to make that one red when I know that I don't even like the color red that much, but I did. Anyway, we're moving on to the coloring of this one, and you guys can see here that it looks kind of patchy and weird and gross, but that's okay. We live with the things that we do, and we get over it. It's just a little sketchbook spread in my comic, in my sketchbook. I hope you guys didn't mind my rambling too much. I think I've been kind of all over the place in this video, but I just feel like I had a lot of thoughts about not only the sketchbook spread, but about the movie that I saw and about the comics that I own, and I hope that it's not too much for you guys. Sometimes it's hard for me to think about what to say, because there's really not that much going on with the art piece, and honestly, I have a very train of thought, like stream of consciousness way of speaking. So that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I will go ahead and see you in the next one. Bye.